So let's start off with some general questions with regards to the exam. So any questions with regards to the exams? No questions with regards to the exams? Okay. Everybody knows where they're writing and what time it starts, the online people, how you must log in. Have you received your login details? If not, please contact FGASA. Any questions with regards to that? Okay, all good. I don't see any hands up. I'm jumping between. Oh, okay. Here we have Yaku.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I just want to find out if the whole exam for the online exam would be multiple choice.
The online exam is completely multiple choice. Of all the modules, there's no written. Everything is multiple choice. Happy with that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. I see some new people have joined us. Welcome. We just quickly, let me just introduce myself first. I'm Laetitia Kronia, and I've been doing this workshop since COVID. So I hope you guys are going to benefit from it. I'm also going to, in chat, going to type my phone number for you guys now. There you guys go. That is my WhatsApp number. You guys are more than welcome to contact me. Just tell me your name, what your question or your issue is, and I will see how I can assist you guys with finding a solution, or if there's a question and you don't know what the answer is or you don't understand it, just contact me and I will see how I can help you guys. Okay. You can also contact me with regards to, I'm in this area. I don't know which assessors I can get off when you have to do, for example, your practicals, or any other issues that you might have with regards to what must I do next. Okay. I'm open to help. I want all of you guys to pass, and I want all of you guys to make a successful career out of this. Can I just ask that everybody's microphones are switched off? I hear some noise in the background. Thank you very much. Okay, let's return. We've got quite a few more people that came in, new people that just came in. I have put my cell phone number, my WhatsApp number. Please don't call me. I'm very busy with courses and assessments. Just send me a WhatsApp and I will get back to you. Okay, if you have any questions, you need any advice, can I send it? Yes, I'll send it again. There we go. It's under the chat. You are not bothering me when you send me messages. Okay, I might not always get back to you immediately. I might be on a bushwalk or something, and but I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, let's just open up the questions again for anything with regards to the exams specifically, written exam or the online exam. If you have a question, please just raise your hand. Not physically, I can't see you. Just at the top there, you can just raise the hand. I'll be jumping between screens to see if people are raising their hands, and then I can quickly finish that section. Yes, Emmanuel.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I haven't received details from FGASA. I don't know, is it too late or short time?
You have not received what?
by my online credentials for logging in for the exam in theory.
Just contact them tomorrow and see and tell them if they've emailed you the login username and password.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
All right, thanks. I'll do that tomorrow
Just
morning.
speak to Yolanda. She will gladly help you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anybody else with any questions with regards to the exam? Okay, so let's start off with ethical guiding. Is there any specific questions? Either raise your hand or type the question into chat. Is there anything there that you would like to talk about? I cannot give you guys exam questions. If you're here to fish out exam questions for me, I am not going to do that, but I will help you with anything that you do not understand or what type of questions, but I can't supply you with exam questions. Anything on ethical guiding? You're welcome to also type your questions into chat. Alex?
Yes, I do have a question. I'm sorry, I wanted to ask a general question and I wasn't quick enough to ask it.
No problem.
The only thing I have from FGASA right now is this, like on the same platform where we did the workbook, there's another thing now called FGASA NQF2 exam. That's the only thing that we need. And tomorrow this thing will change and then that's how we access the exam, correct? Or is there any other steps that we need to do in order to access the actual online exam?
Yeah, I've never done an online exam. That came way past my time. So I've never logged into an online exam to do it. So unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure how to answer your question. I think I must just ask for God if I can do an online exam once and then I would know. And then, but if you in any way not sure, please just call Elinda at the FGASA office and she will tell you whether you've got everything you need.
Okay, well, she told me I got everything, but I just didn't know if this thing is the correct thing to actually access the exam because that was never stated.
I'm sure if you receive that from FGASA, that would be everything.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Okay, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Is there anybody else? Anything on ethical guiding? Alex?
I forgot to lower my hand. Go on.
Okay, Grace?
With the principles and the code of conduct, if they were to ask a question about that, does it need to be, how specific does it need to be? Like if they were to ask to list 2 of those principles?
Yes. Long as I'm echoing. As long as you in the principles, you can use your own wording. You don't have to use it word for word like that. Does that help, Grace?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, pleasure. Anybody else? You guys must just be patient with me. I have to jump between 3 screens to see if there's hands up. Alex, is your hand up again or?
Yes, just one quick question.
Yes.
In the online exam, I thought it was all multiple choice. So do we actually have to answer 3 questions or is it just a box that we have to tick off?
No, it's all multiple choice. You just pick the right answer.
Okay.
Okay. Just on the online exam, things that I do know about the online exam that you just need to be aware of is you cannot go back. So please, if you don't know an answer to a question, don't think you can go back to it. If you pass a question, you're done. Okay. And the questions are also in random order just to prevent people from cheating. So You will have a geology question, and then a human habitation question, and then an ecology question, and then a biome question. So it jumps around a lot so that people can't sit in the manual. And there's also the limit works out at about 30 seconds per question, but don't have a heart attack right now. A lot of the questions would be yes or no, or true or false, which will take you 2 seconds to answer. So that adds up. So don't be too worried, but do check the time and make sure that you'll be able to get through the whole exam. That is about what I know about the online exams. Okay, let me just see. I've got a question here. Would we have to focus much on definitions like what is an ethical guide? I believe respect, passion, and knowledge would be a big thing. The whole of the NQF2 is quite definition orientated because it creates the foundation of all the theory you're going to learn in the future as well. So yes, you definitely need to know what an ethical guide is. It can either come through a scenario, what makes this person an ethical guide or not an ethical guide, what are the characteristics of an ethical guide, as you've just mentioned there. So yeah, but in the ethical guide section for the written exam, not for online. Online has random questions. For the written exam, ethical guiding is 10 marks out of the 150 marks. So the ethical guiding would probably, or the definition around an ethical guide would be between 2 and 4 points. And then 8 or 6 points on other stuff. Things like client checks, briefing, what do you check on vehicles, how would you prepare your guests for the activity, those type of things. Grace? Pleasure.
Thank you. Are we ever presented with like, how do we answer when it's an image scenario, like an elephant, and we have to describe like the behavior? Is the guest or is the guide acting in an ethical way, like when it's just a stationary 2D image?
How do you need to on?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm echoing. When I'm on, okay, yeah, that helps. So if you get a picture, I'm just, this scenario has never been in an exam. I'm just making up a story now. Let's say there's a picture of a guide in a game dive vehicle at night with a lion, and a spotlight is shining directly into the lion's eyes. If that is the type of scenario you're talking about, yes. Is this guide ethical? Is he not ethical? Motivate your answer. This guide is not ethical because he's not respecting the animal. It's actually blinding the animals, probably too close to the animal. You can't really bring knowledge in there, because unless the scenario also tells you that the guide is not really saying anything, then you can also say that the guide's not sharing knowledge. It's not showing passion for nature. So you'll bring those 3 words, respect, passion, and knowledge, into ethical guiding, answering ethical guiding questions. Does that help, Grace?
Yes, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Anybody else on ethical guiding? I don't see any hands up anymore. Sorry, my screen has jumped. Where am I now? There we go. Other things that you also need to take in consideration for the ethical guiding section is you need to know
What role does FGASA play? What role does NDT play? Which acts you should conform by? What role does CASITA play? Those things are also quite important. And then also differences between, for example, the tour guide, game ranger, nature guide type things. Okay, so just go and have a look at those as well. You guys have disappeared now again. I don't know why. There we go. Got you back. Okay, is everybody happy? Okay, sorry, there's a question here. Should we talk about first aid story? Sorry, yeah. Well, like in your workbook, just to quickly answer that question also about the workbook, about 30% of the questions in the exam can come from the workbook. The rest is all random questions that has been developed through FGASA trainers, assessors over many years. So there's a huge database of questions that they can actually draw from. But yeah, first aid, why should you have first aid? What is the minimum requirements of first aid? You should know those things. Okay, everybody good on ethical guiding? Sorry guys, I just want to close all my apps because my screen keeps on jumping. Just give me a second. Where is it now? Just want to close all these things because okay, almost done. Why have I lost you now? Are you guys still there? Can somebody just say yes?
Yes, we're
Yes,
still
we're
there.
still there.
I'm
Because
here.
mine now says it looks like something went wrong. I've lost your faces. I don't know where you guys are. I'm just trying to get you back. Where on earth have you disappeared to? There we go. Here you are. Okay, sorry. I got you back. I've closed all my other apps. So hopefully we won't jump around anymore. Is there any other questions on ethical guiding? Okay, can we move on to geology? Any specific questions on geology that you guys would like me to help you with? Okay, I don't see any hands up. Okay, I will just cover a little bit on geology, just important parts of geology. Obviously, you need to know what geology is. As I said, NQF2 lays the foundation of your knowledge that you're going to gain within your career, and definitions creates that foundation. You need to know what the subject is about. Then in all these modules, what is also important is to be able to say why you as a guide need to know about this subject. So specifically in geology, why should you learn about geology? I will check the questions just now, Gerald. So you should be able to answer why it's important for you as a guide to have an understanding of geology. And then under geology, which is quite important, is soils. Because without soils, there's no basis for an ecosystem. So soils are important. What role they play is important. The formation of soils are important. Let me just quickly check. There's a question. Would we have things like label diagram A, B, C, D, maybe pores and mantle and crust? Yeah, throughout the exam. So Gerald's just asking if they give you a diagram and you must label the diagram. Yeah, you can get it in any of the modules that allows for diagrams. Okay. Getting back to geology, small little things that are important are, for example, a native element, mineral, and then obviously, and fossil fuels. Should be able know what these things are. Should be able to define them, give examples of them. And then a big portion of geology is your rock types, your 3 rock types: sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous rocks. You must be able to define them and give examples of them, answer questions with regards to different rocks. And with the rocks, you must know the rock, like for example granite, and then what type of rock is it and how did it form. Okay, so granite is an intrusive igneous rock, and how did it form? It won't be one long question, but it can be a table where you need to, for example, you have your metamorphic, igneous, and sedimentary rocks on the one side and explanations of it on the other side. This is for the written exams, okay? And then you need to link column A with column B. So you can definitely get questions like that as well. Okay, I'm just thinking of some other examples of geology things that are important, but rocks definitely important. Rocks, soil, and the definition of geology. There's a lot of questions that can come from that. Oh yeah, and then the other 2 things that are important in geology would be weathering and erosion. You should be able to know what is the difference between weathering and erosion, and the different types of weathering that you get, and the different types of erosion that you get. So your weathering, where you get chemical weathering, biological weathering, mechanical weathering, or physical weathering. And then with your erosion, your different types of erosion. And what is the main factors that contribute to erosion? Things like overgrazing, drought, those type of things. Okay, any questions, further questions with regards to geology? Everybody happy with geology? Okay, we've got a question, maybe something like, what is called, maybe, oh, they are not minerals. Yes. I see you might have had some old papers there, Gerald. Okay, so the question, what are coal, oil, and natural gas classified as? And why are they not minerals? Okay, so definitely, that I already said, you need to know what a mineral is, you need to know what a fossil fuel is, so that is a combination question between the 2. Minerals has never been of any form of organic matter, where coal, oil, and natural gas Okay. Natural gas well and sorry, Grace, I'll be with you now. Those are fossil fuels, so that came from organic matter. Okay. Grace?
Yes, thank you. Can you elaborate on the factors that contribute to erosion? Like, are you talking about the different types of erosion, like rill, gully, or?
Yeah. Okay, so if you can just mute, thank you. So what contributes to erosion is things like overgrazing, drought, anything that takes your ground cover layer away, like your grasses, your mosses, all of those type of things. Anything that holds the soil together. So overgrazing definitely plays a role in that. Droughts play a role in that, and excessive fires. So somebody that burns every year, especially in areas which is a disturbed area and you burn it. So you kill your pioneer grasses. That will contribute to erosion. So the first type of erosion that will take place would be sheet erosion. Sheet erosion is the removal of the topsoil. As soon as the topsoil has been removed, you now have bare, non-fertile. It's more dust layer. It's not fertile, so nothing will grow in it. And now the water has, when it rains, the water has now the availability to create rill erosion. So it makes these little veins. You see it a lot at sodic sites. That can then develop into gully or donga erosion, which you get these deep gullies that are formed. So that would be 3 different stages of erosion. Sheet erosion, which develops into rill erosion, which develops into gully or donga erosion. Does that help, Grace?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Okay, you can lower your hand, Grace. Anybody else? Sorry, somebody's talking. Please just switch the your microphones off, please. Whose microphone is on? I can't see. Emmanuel, yes? Can I help you? Emmanuel? Do you need help? Can you just mute? Thank you very much. Okay, everybody happy with geology? Then we can move on to weather and climate. Any specific questions with regards to weather and climate? I'm just checking for hands going up or questions being typed. Okay, again, definitions. What's the difference between weather and climate would be important. And then further on, with climate specifically, what influences the climate in South Africa? And that more or less would conclude climate. Everything else will be with regards to weather. What causes weather? High and low pressure cells, cold and warm fronts, winds. What is a wind? How is a wind formed? What causes wind to start? Wind, which is the movement of air. What causes air to move? Moving from a high to a area, a high pressure area to a low pressure area. Rain, okay? Rain comes from clouds, so cloud formation is important. If we talk about clouds, what can you use clouds for? So you see certain clouds in the air. what can you tell about these clouds, and how can you use clouds in the guiding during guiding activities? Okay, your different winds, sorry, anabatic, katabatic, berg winds. Those are the important sections within weather and climate. Let me just check questions. Yaku, to elaborate on atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is not really something that you're going to get a lot of questions about in NQF2. You can expect those type of in-depth weather and climate questions within NQF4, but I can quickly run over it. Atmospheric pressure is exactly what it means. What is the pressure of the atmosphere on the surface of the Earth? Okay, so we think of all the gases and the atmosphere itself has mass, so therefore it will put pressure on the surface of the Earth, and that is what you measure with atmospheric pressure. Gerald, believe you have a way of remembering the winds like anabatic. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's just something that I share with people that come for exam preps to me or do courses here. You have anabatic and katabatic, and people tend to forget which one is which. So just a tip on how to remember it. Anabatic, Ana is the name, say, of a woman, and katabatic, cat. So when are women usually awake? During the day. So this is a wind that takes place during the day when the surface of the Earth warms up due to the sun, the UV rays from the sun. That warms up the air, and therefore the warm air will go up the eastern slopes of mountains, hills. And then katabatic, cats are active during the night. So it is a wind that happens when the sun goes down and the air cools down, and the air comes down the eastern slopes into the lower lying areas at night. So Anna and cat. Anna during the day and cat at night. That's just one of the ways most of the students remember it. Thanks for reminding me, Gerald. Have you been here by me? Or know somebody that's been here? Okay. Let me just, do I have others? Sure. I suppose I do. I think as we go through the modules, I might think of a few, like interspecific competition and intraspecific competition. I have little things that helps people remember it. Oh, you watched my YouTube. Okay. Let me just think a little bit about weather and climate, if there's anything else that I have left out. I think that's about it. Winds are very important. What causes weather, your different fronts, your pressure cells, high and low pressure cells, cold and warm fronts. In this, you can also get a picture, and it doesn't always have to be the exact picture that is in your manuals. You must be able to figure it out yourselves, and it's usually not the same picture that's in the manual. Okay, but you can see, let's say, do I have a piece of paper here somewhere? Let's check. There's a book. I'm just gonna quickly draw something. I just want to use a Croaky, so it's let's say you get something like that. You have a column of cold air, a cell here with cold air, and you have warm air moving in. It won't be that simplistic, but I'm not the best drawer on earth. So if you have warm air that's coming into a column of cold air, the front is always named after this. So the question can say, which front is this and what weather can be expected? Something like that. Okay. So you should be able to figure out, if you know the work, you should be able to figure out what it is saying. Let me just see here, Gerald, clouds. Yes, I have a, sure, I wonder if I have it close by. I will check for that now. I have a sheet that I've made. I don't know if it's on my YouTube. It's actually not on YouTube. Am I on YouTube? I didn't even know I was on YouTube. It's definitely on Facebook. Information sheet that I created with regards to clouds, where it gives you the 5 words that you can find in clouds, what the characteristics is, what weather can be expected, and then if you make cloud names from it, and you connect those together, it makes you help understand clouds much easier. It will take me too long to do that now, but I will check while I'm busy with you guys, if I can get it, and then I'll put it on here to share. But it should be on Facebook. I don't know if you guys know about the Facebook page that I have. I must just go and check. Let me just quickly check what I call it. I'm not 100% sure what I call it. It's so long ago. Where is Facebook now? There we go. Let me just quickly check. Well, let me do it on my phone. I know it a little bit better on how to get to it quickly. Just go and visit this group. FGASA Exam Prep Tribe. I'll put it on here for you guys. This is something that I started during COVID to help people study, and there's actually quite a lot of videos on there that I made. So you can just go and search this. There we go. And it should be on there. But if it's not, if I don't get time tonight to look for it and put it on here, then just pop me a WhatsApp and I can send it to you. Okay. Grace, what terms for the winds do you usually use? That gets confusing. Sea word, sea breeze. Don't worry too much about those. Now your anabatic and your katabatic and your berg wind. Grace, don't be too worried about the others. Okay. Cool. Any other questions with regards to weather and climate? Okay. Let's move on to, what is the next one? Astronomy, I think. Any specific questions on astronomy? I don't see any hands. Okay, wait, I think we've got something. Would we have to match the stars to the respective constellations? Alpha side. Yes, you can. Can either just be in a question, or it can also be a table with, say, the constellations on the one side and some stars on the other side, and you need to connect. Which stars do you find in which constellations or constellation? Let me think. Okay, we're at astronomy. You definitely need to know what is a universe, what is a galaxy, what is a solar system, and then so you must be able to define them. Or again, there can be tables where they maybe have universe, solar system, galaxy on the one and definitions on the other side, and then you need to connect them. Then you definitely need to know our solar system and its planets, and you need to know them in order. And some interesting facts about them. Okay, which is the smallest planet, which is the largest planet, which is the second largest, which planet is the closest to the sun, which planet is the closest to the earth, those type of questions. And then with regards to planets, also know the difference between a star and a planet. Okay, Grace, I'll be with you now. And then be able to say, this is what makes a star, this is what makes a planet, and this is an example of a star, for example, our sun, and this is the example of a planet, let's say Jupiter. Yes, Grace?
Yes, thank you. Wanted to know if, besides the Southern Cross, if there's any other constellation that we would need to know how to like calculate direction for, or be asked to explain that.
Orion.
Okay. And then can you talk about that?
You can just mute. Okay, Gerald, I'll be with you now. So with Orion, it's actually a very easy one. It's not as complicated as the Southern Cross, because Orion is one of our summer constellations. So it is from November to May, and you start seeing it rising in the east. Sorry. Yo, now I'm confused. It starts going down in the east. So that is then, when you see it in the east, you know that is east. And if you see it, if you wake up early in the morning and you see it in the west, then you know that's west. Okay, so that's actually all you need to know about Orion. It's not a big, complicated calculation as with Southern Cross. Okay, Grace?
Thank you.
Pleasure. Let me read what Gerald has here. Also, maybe use a constellation and explain how to indicate that. Yeah, we've talked about that. Know what the constellation is and when they are visible. Yeah, maybe something about the Vredefort Dome, which is a UNESCO site. Should we talk about the phases of the moon? Okay, you've got a lot of questions there. I don't know if the rest of you also have the chat open, so you can see there. I will quickly cover all of those. We've spoken about direction. Southern Cross is obviously the most important one for direction because it gives you true south. Orion do not give you true east or true west. So that you will only use if for some reason you can't find the Southern Cross. If the stars are out, you'll be able to find Southern Cross. With Southern Cross, it can be a blank a block that you draw it and then show the 4.5 times method or the midpointer of the pointers method, or the stars can already be in there and you must just draw and indicate how you would find true south, or it can be a real life picture of the night sky with the Southern Cross in it. Remember, there will also now be other stars. And then you need to use that to indicate where true south is. So those are the three different ways that you can, by the use of a diagram, show where true south is. Okay. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, Wabisa. I will get to you just now. I just want to quickly finish with Gerald here. know what a constellation is and when they are visible. The different constellations, yes, when they are visible. The only constellations you need to know for NQF2 is Southern Cross, Orion, and Scorpio. Vredefort Dome is a meteorite impact site. There's a whole description with regards to the Vredefort Dome in your manuals, how big it is, when it happened, the fact that it's a UNESCO site. But you're not going to get a huge NQF4. They really ask big questions with regards to the Vredefort Dome, but not in NQF2. They just want you to know what it is. So name a meteorite impact site in South Africa. There's actually two. For the life of me, can't remember the one. It's just outside Pretoria. I was there the other day. It's a beautiful place. It will come to me. But the Vredefort Dome is definitely a very important meteorite impact site for scientists in the world. I went there for my studies as well. It's a beautiful place with a huge biodiversity. But you just need to know what it is, or name a meteorite impact site in South Africa, Vredefort Dome, or what is the Vredefort Dome? It is a meteorite impact site in South Africa. That's more or less all you need to know about the Vredefort Dome for exam purposes, not as a guide. As a guide, you definitely need to know more about these things, okay? Should we talk about the phases of the moon? Yes, phases of the moon, the tides, the eclipses, definitely need to know those. And then with the phases of the moon, need to know how to describe what is a gibbous moon, what is a crescent moon, the two phases of the moon, the waxing and the waning. But don't make it very complicated. For example, if you're talking about how to describe what is a waxing moon, it's when the moon is in the phase from new moon to full moon, and a waning moon is the phase from full moon to new moon. Don't overcomplicate it, your descriptions in it. That is also enough to speak to a guest about. Okay, a lot of guests come here and they're not very fluent in English. And then people start throwing very big words around and nobody knows what you're talking about. Wabisa, with Orion constellation, do we need to know the stars or direct? Sorry, what do you mean with direction? Sorry. Yeah, I just described the direction. It's where it rises or sets. That is the right. It's either west or east. Okay, and then you can use that to find direction. Jaco, could you elaborate on the difference between a meteor and a meteorite? Okay, a meteor is a piece of debris in space. Okay, a piece of rock in space. It's not a very big. So your larger ones would be regarded as asteroids. So the smaller ones are meteorites. Meteors, please, not a meteorite, a meteor. Because of the Earth's gravity, a meteor will be pulled towards the Earth. And as it enters the atmosphere of the Earth, it's much denser than space itself. I don't know if you guys have seen when the shuttles from space come in, they actually start to burn. That's because of the friction coming into the atmosphere of the Earth. And that is what we then call a shooting star. That's that meteor. It's still called a meteor that enters into the atmosphere of the Earth and it starts to burn. And if a piece of it survives that burning, usually they burn out completely. If it survives that burning and it hits the ground, if a piece hits the ground, that piece lying on the ground is referred to as a meteorite. Okay, so it only becomes a meteorite when it when it survives the passing through the atmosphere, survives that and hits the Earth, then it's a meteorite. You good with that, Jaco? Okay, I'm just checking if there's hands up. Any other questions? I think what else is there? We spoke about stars, planets. Then there can also be some guiding questions. Okay, when will you take people stargazing? Are you going to do it when it's full moon or new moon or half moon? Obviously, full moon would be the worst. Then the sky is too light. Yeah, down in the low veld, when we have full moon and there's not a lot of light pollution, yeah, you actually have a shadow at night. That's how bright the moon can get. Okay. This different stars in the constellations we've covered, the different constellations, when you can see these constellations, can you use these constellations to find direction? Then with regards to the moon, your phases of the moon, the different phases, so a half moon, a full moon, a new moon, a gibbous moon, a crescent moon. And then your ocean tides, spring tides and neap tides, you must be able to describe that. And your eclipses, your solar eclipse and your lunar eclipse. Okay, and then, yes, meteor, they don't really do anything with asteroids and things like that. Yeah. Meteorite are important for NQF2. Okay. And then please know everything about our sun. It is the closest star to Earth, and that it is a star and not a planet. So just go read up about our sun a bit. What gases is found on the sun? Helium and hydrogen. Okay. This is all in your manuals. Any other questions on astronomy? Okay, then we're going to move on to ecology. Any specific questions on ecology? Again, remember the definition of ecology. And you know that levels of organization, you've got an individual, a population, a community, ecosystem, biome, and the biosphere. Know those things because a lot of questions can come from that. You being able to give examples, you being able to define, you being able to compare column A with column B. There's a lot of questions that can come from just those 6